Brookings Foreign Policy is uniquely positioned to provide in-depth, nonpartisan research and expertise on China and the full scope of issues that are implicated by its rise and its growing activism around the world.
From 2018 to 2020, Brookings Global China produced one of the largest open-source diagnostic assessments of China's actions across every major geographic and functional domain. We are now launching Phase 2 of the Global China project, which shifts from description to prescription and will focus on generating policy recommendations for how the United States should respond to China's growing activism in issue areas that implicate vital American interests and values.
There's a fair bit of debate in the China watching community today about the scale of China's global ambitions. Some people think that China is seeking to displace the United States and create a world in its own image, and others have a view that China's ambitions are more defensive in nature, trying to create a world that is safe for its form of governance. The answer to this question will do a lot to determine the path of travel that the United States should take for responding to China's rise.
One enormous problem we could have with China would be war over Taiwan, if China tries to bring the island back to the motherland, so to speak. And classically, historically, we've assumed the United States could just win that war because our Navy and Air Force were so much better than China's. That's not true anymore. I think we need an integrated economic, military, diplomatic, and allied response that may try to avoid war in the first instance and pressure China to walk it back, to stop the aggression, to find a diplomatic compromise, rather than just to assume we can out-escalate China.
China has long had significant interests and activities in countries and conflicts across the Middle East, but its role has expanded and changed dramatically over the course of the past decade. In 2021, as the Biden administration attempts to reinstate compliance with the Iran nuclear deal, after the Trump administration's decision to withdraw from that agreement, China is in fact a crucial actor, because it is its economic relationship with Iran that is in fact sustaining Iran's economy, and at this point, it will be China that helps determine whether or not the Iran nuclear deal can be reinstated, or whether the world faces a nuclear crisis with the Islamic Republic of Iran.
How and whether the United States and China would cooperate and work together on climate was one of the biggest questions going into COP26. As it turns out, at the end of the summit, they came out with an agreement that they would cooperate on several things, including decarbonization, electrification of the economy, and also methane emissions. But the agreement was very light on details. So the main question for the US and China going forward really remains and hasn't changed all that much. Can they find a way to cooperate on climate while they are at odds on many other issues and important issues like trade and human rights?
I see the United States and China as locked into a long-term competition to figure out which country's governance system can best perform. I think both countries believe that their governance system is best poised to meet the challenges of the 21st century. And so the more that the United States can do to unlock the talents of its people, to spur innovation and technological progress, and to help galvanize global efforts to address common challenges to humanity, the stronger of a position the United States will find itself in to compete with China over the long term.